right now we have to look at kind of a certain basic set of moves and get them under the microscope so we can just see them and learn them a little bit differently. Okay? But for now, we're just going to start on our backs. We're going to get a warm-up, but not a mindless warm-up. I want you guys to do the movements like it's real, but we're treating it this early stage of the training like a warm-up because it's still cool in here, okay? You're still going to start on your back. You can do the whole movement. You can start here and just bump up, but I recommend for the warm-ups using your hand to reach and really getting the concept of reaching for something farther than you can get, okay? So it's not just go here and touch the floor. Your mind doesn't stop here. It's like I'm reaching way across the floor, so when I do the move for real, I'm pushing, I'm reaching, and I'm finishing the move, okay? So let's say 10 on each side. 1, 2, right, 10 on each side. And then we'll do the whole 10 more, complete the movement, okay? Remember to finish the whole move now. 5 on each side. This time, eliminate the guide. Again, this guide we're using, some of you get messed up, as we saw when you practice the move. Sometimes you trap the arm, you trap the leg, and when you bump and roll, you do this. It doesn't happen for real in this position. Not like this, it doesn't. Sometimes we might, but that's another conversation. Trapping the arm and trapping the shoulder. When I bump and roll, if I do this, his hand is now free. So I keep the hand, I keep the shoulder, trap the leg, and now when I bump and roll, I still want the visualization, like I'm reaching for Anthony. I'm driving that way off the foot, and my leg goes straight, but I'm pushing so far. Land on my legs, get heavy, control the arms, control the gi on the chest, right? The Helson pass, the two lapels, hold it, slide up, and finish the position. So quick note, guys, let's just add this. Again, we'll try to point out little detail as we go because there's reminders without spending too much time. The legs can be an indicator of what you did, okay? In most cases, when guys bump and roll, wherever they stop pushing, like Dante is he went like halfway there, and then kind of fell to his side. Watch my legs. We tend to leave the knees bent the way they were when we rolled over. And your legs were bent like this. So that shows me you didn't fully extend. This becomes the major component of the leg. As I bump and roll, watch my legs. I keep pushing. I'm pushing. Look at my leg. Now it's straight. Because I kept pushing that last little bit. You're putting so much emphasis on the bump, you're doing this. You're throwing your hips higher than you can maintain. So your maintain can go here. But your momentum is throwing them a little higher up. But you can't maintain it. So what it looks like is this. And you're bumping and settling back down again. So you've lost the continual push. So go slow for now. Because if you went slow, that wouldn't happen. You go slow, push into the spot, keep going, and go. So we'll slow for now, guys. Really driving in slow. So again, momentum and speed can't cover up or mask improper technique. That's perfect, Anthony. That's really good. Where's you got, Anthony? Nope. Go again. You tuck that hip that time. You see it? You feel it? So go slow. If that right hip tucks, you lose the position. Slowly drive into that corner of the neck and shoulder, and don't stop driving. The right foot continues to push. Yes, see the difference? Now, you see you swing your hip again. You're trying to turn over to like control. When that final drive happens, you just fall over like a baby, rolling from its back to its stomach. Drive. Yeah, you're still trying to hold it back a little bit though. Your right hip is still too engaged to stay balanced. All the push comes off the right foot. Good, Dante. Push. Yeah, see the difference? Yeah. So some of you are falling into the trap here. You're doing everything really good. The angle's really good. It looks perfect. And right here, you still do this with the hip. Now, I'm being dramatic. So you're tucking the hip so this leg can come over easier. That little tuck is messing the move up. That cannot move. So you keep pushing and driving. Drive now. It's imperative. I get this hip over by driving this. Drive. And go. And that's the last little bit that most people forget. So let's work on a basic elbow escape concept because, again, the simplest things are where you guys start to kind of mess it up. And ironically, you can often train these pieces and these details much easier without a partner. A partner in some cases is only a distraction, and they get in the way, and then all sorts of things happen to make the move get messed up. We strip every variable away and be left with only the movement, and now that's it. We get to focus under the microscope on specific stuff. So I'm on bottom side. Where do my hands go? Anybody?
On your chest, in front of your face.
Where am I from? Yeah?
Elbows close to your body, but your hands like this.
So my hands kind of here. My hands are like I'm gonna kind of protect my neck. I don't protect my neck like someone's on my back, right? Someone's on my back, my elbows are down, my hands are over my neck, right? Hide the neck. It's not like that. I'm not doing my hands in that particular position because there's no neck to protect because his arm's over here. It's not the same situation. My hands are still low, elbows tight to my body, my forearms in front of my body, and that kind of carries the weight. Okay? It's like if you guys have ever seen stuff stored in the basement, basements that flood, you might see stuff stored in the basement. You might see 2x4s or 4x4s on the floor to lift them off the ground, right? And so what happens there dynamically as far as weights, the same thing happens here. If I laid all this stuff on the floor would have the entire weight of the material stacked. When I put a 2x4 here and a 2x4 here, like two 2x4s, right, and then stack the material across, it gets it off the floor and it distributes the weight differently, okay? That's what's happening here. I'm putting 2 blocks, right? So I'm here, two blocks, and the person lays across my arms. And so what that does is lifts him off my chest, and it distributes the weight. Because what are my arms connected to? My shoulders, and if I keep my arms in the right position, that weight transfers out to my shoulders and my back. But it doesn't do so through my chest. So the weight gets alleviated. It gets dispersed. That's number one. Now, let's assume the guy's legs are on this side. Depending on his movement and how he does stuff, let's say he's going to go for like the sneaky mount. He's going to tuck one knee close, eventually bring it over, and mount. But if this knee's close, the other knee can't be back there. It doesn't facilitate his movement. So they're both going to come close. It means his hip is kind of right here. So when the sneaky mount's going to come, my arm kind of drops into his hip a little bit. Because I don't want that knee, that thigh, to come inside this knee, inside this elbow. His first knee, his right knee, is inside my elbow already because it's too far away. His left knee would like to be inside my elbow, and then he can mount and he eliminates my arm. He takes my arm out of the picture. So, again, I have to visualize it in the hip. So his chest is here, his stomach, his hip bone, his leg bends down, his knee is over here somewhere. This elbow must stay inside of his thigh at all times. No matter where that body goes, the elbow does not lose connection to that thigh inside. So I know he's going to mount. If I pick my leg up, I close the door and I make it hard for him to do it. But I know if he mounts, I have an escape option. You know, like a burglar trying to get into my house. I want to capture a burglar. If I lock every door and window secure, I don't know where the burglar's going to come in. I pull all the gates down. I leave one door open. Maybe he doesn't know it's unlocked. I open it a little bit. Now the door's open. Now he's going to come through the door. I'm hiding behind the door though. So I'm going to get the burglar when he comes in. Lock everything up. So everything's locked up. The only way he can come in, I see him walking by the door. His knee comes up. Oh, he wants to mount. Unlock the door. Maybe he's not that bright. Open the door. I can go this way. And that make it easy. But now when I open the door, in order for me to hide behind the door and be prepared, I got to turn my butt. And now my knee is flat on the floor. Now I'm ready to attack the burglar when he comes in. Okay? So this leg, if I bend this leg and my hips are facing up, when I bend it, my knee goes up. If I use this foot and pivot my hips, when I bend this knee, it slides along the floor. And that's what I want. So now, I'm side mount. I got my support structure so I'm not getting crushed. He starts to try to find a way in. I open the door, unlock the door, open the door. I prepare myself. Now, as that knee comes over, this elbow cannot let the thigh come inside. So as he's coming over, as this knee goes to the floor, it's a natural weight distribution for him, for you older guys in the room, like a seesaw. Have you ever seen a seesaw on a playground, Alejandro? You know what a seesaw is. So it's like a seesaw. When that knee goes down, this one's gonna go up. So as that knee goes down, I imagine it's going down. As this knee goes up and gets light, I can lift it a little bit. And as I lift it, I bring my knee under my elbow. Okay? I see a lot of guys calling this the elbow escape and think that knee has to go to the elbow. This is wrong. That's correct. Over. The knee goes under. So his leg is here. If I go elbow to knee, his knee could press between these two spaces and wedge it open. It's just not a good bond. But if I go under the elbow, if he presses down and slips off, he's on top of my leg. Slides over, elbow and knee go together, elbow over the knee. And then from here, I can simply straighten my leg, close the gate, push his leg down, use this foot to pivot. Now you notice me picking this leg off the ground. I picked this off the ground just so you can see I'm not using it. Normally it would stay here, but I'm not using it. So I pick it up. I use this foot and pivot my butt underneath him. Now his leg fell between my legs. I swivel around and trap his leg. I repeat on the other side. Elbows down, scoop back a little bit, bring this knee up into the hip, use this foot to pivot, and then go back to guard. Okay? Okay, so now, the guy's mounted. Pick your knees up, like bend your feet. Good. If he's side mount, you would pick your left knee higher up. No, just like that. So now I can't just put my leg across your stomach. Like the door is closed and locked.
That way?
Right, my head is there, but my legs are on this side. But you want him to do that because you have a surprise trap for him. So you put the foot on the floor. Now the door is unlocked. Now he could go. But it might not be inviting enough for him. So straighten your leg all the way. Now it's like a wide open door to him. Very easy to mount. But you need to be prepared for the attack. So turn your butt towards me, like you face your hips towards me. Use your right foot. Watch it, look at me. Use your right foot and just turn your hips so your belly button faces me. No, the other way. Yes, perfect. Now you're ready to go. Now as his knee slides across your stomach, you're going to use your right elbow, your left elbow. So turn your shoulder a little more to the side. You're going to bring your knee to your elbow and your elbow over your knee. That's it, along the floor though. Perfect, that's it. Now, straighten your left arm up. Bend your elbow, no, just go like this. Just bend it, perfect. Now, put your left foot on the floor, just the way it is, and swivel your whole butt, so you're going to show me your butt. Back towards me.
My butt back towards
Back towards me. Yes, keep going, keep going, keep going. Perfect, freeze. Take your left foot out and around his imaginary leg and back on the floor. Perfect. Now bring your right knee up. Put that foot on the floor. Swivel the head that way. Now bring the leg around that way and put it around his waist. Now he's back in guard. So now you're around his body. Cross your feet.
And now he...
But cross your feet behind his back. That's it. So the one leg comes out, traps his leg. The other leg comes out. There's no need to trap the leg because now the second leg is free. Your legs are around his waist. You just cross the feet behind his back. Perfect. No need for the tiger claw. You got fingers in there and geese. Keep your hands close. Keep your fingers close together at least. And once your arm goes, when you bend your arm from here to parallel, straight up and down, all of this is not doing anything extra. His knee's only right here. Once it goes here, that's it. This doesn't do anything more.
So I'm not pushing his leg forward.
Not really, unless it's unless you're imagining it needs to be pushed. But once his leg, so right now your knee is so deep. Once you straighten your arm up, right, no, keep it right, straight up to the ceiling. No, but just bend it straight up. Right. Okay, that's even a little bit forward. That's okay. Once his knee is now stuck between your elbow and your leg, it's right at the bottom of your elbow.
Right.
When you scoot your butt, your knee's going to push his leg around. Yeah, now trap it with the right. So really see where the legs are, guys. So watch Dante for a second, everybody. The door's closed and locked. He unlocks the door. He opens the door. You hide behind the door. He's ready to go now. Guy goes to mount. Pass the legs. Swivel. Now, wait, freeze. No, okay, that's a big swivel. Go back a little bit more. You're not going to swivel. Yeah, you're really going to end up like there. Realistically, that's where you're going to end up. If I'm mounted, where is my left leg on Dante right now?
Between his legs.
Dante, where is it? Where's my left leg right now? That's my right. Where's my other one?
It's on its way over.
That's my
It's
right.
right,
Where's my
right.
left? My right was on its way over.
Right.
Where's my other leg? Right now. Yes, this is where you guys start to get lost, where it's tricky because your visualization's tough. So start again. knowing I'm gonna ask you the left, I'm gonna ask you about my left leg, right? So I'm sliding out. Unlock the door, you open the door, you hide behind the door. Perfect. Now my right leg starts to mount. You're working on my left leg. You're attacking my left leg as my right leg attacks you, right? Good. So I'm mounting. Keep going. Where's my left knee right now? My left knee, that's my right. Where's my other knee?
It's right here.
Right there, exactly. So keep going. Right there, freeze. Where's my left knee now?
Here.
Right, between your legs. So now take your right leg out and swivel around my calf, up, down, and trap on the floor behind it. Yes. Now you have my leg trapped so I can't just mount again. Now, where's my right leg? Yeah, where's my right hip? Where's the hole in the hip you're going to come through? My knee goes to my hip. Where's my hip? No, show me in the air. My knee's on the ground. Where is my hip?
The hip's right here.
The hip of my, yeah, okay, yeah, somewhere around there, maybe a little further away.
Okay.
So now that's where the knee's gonna go, through the hip joint, not the knee. So bring the knee a little higher, like raise it off the ground, no, raise it off the ground, right there. Bring the knee through the hip, put that foot on the floor. Now when you pivot, swivel your butt the other way. Now where are my hips?
Here in between.
Yeah, so now when you clear the left leg, like we said before, Anthony, no need to trap the leg, when the legs are out, we go back to guard. Make sense?
Yeah.
1 or 2 more times, guys, that's good. Doing the movement is not the trick. The repetition is not the trick. The physical repetition is not really the trick. The secret sauce in this movement is the mental repetition and the commitment to its picturing. So when you guys do this, not Anthony, because Anthony's gonna be like, Anthony's like a science project right now. Anthony's the guy who hasn't trained ever. It's his first class on the mat. And so his first several classes are going to be even almost seemingly more handicapped than mine were. So I first went to the seminar, I don't know, 3 hours away. Did 10 hours, came back. I hadn't seen the seminar again for a long time. So me and a friend trained sporadically, a couple times a week, 10 minutes. And then most of my training was this. By myself, moving, picturing, imagining, what's the weight here, what's the weight there. I mean, I really had to squeeze and reach for the imagination process to remember what stuff was because it was important. You don't even have that. So it's going to be interesting to see when we come out of this where his movement goes. I think it'll be interesting to all of us to see the little science experiment over here. But in the meantime, again, I can't stress enough, you guys, when you feel these certain movements, and I'm here, when I'm here, I know what this feels like. I know if I go like this, it's gonna get heavy. I know if I'm here, it's lighter. I can almost feel the weight. If I turn a little bit, I feel the weight just get less. As the guy goes to mount, I can feel the pressure. I feel his leg get light. It's all back in my memory somewhere. You just have to bring it to the front. What it really feels like. As I go here and I swivel, I feel his leg fall. I know his knee is right below my thigh. His foot and calf are going out here somewhere. So I take my foot around that and trap it. I can feel his foot going through my leg now. I feel it's loose, I feel it's tight. I feel this leg can't just come up, it's too close. So I scoot back and clear. If I bring this leg along the ground, his knee is close to my body. But if his knee is close, the foot's there, calf, knee, the thigh goes back at an angle. So the hole here is more accessible. So I see, whoop, it just popped in. I can push a little bit if I want, use my elbow. And now it's right here. When I pivot this leg, now his leg's inside my leg. I don't come around and trap the leg because this one's already free. I come up around the knee. That's where his knee is. His knee's by my butt. Around it, out, and guard. Okay? Much harder for you because you've never felt it before. You're learning something different than them right now a little bit. You guys need to really tap into that feeling, okay? Let's try just 2 or 3 more. Really, close your eyes if you have to. Really feel it, okay? That's where the secret sauce here is, guys. So as silly as it sounds, one of the most important details is very often forgotten. The big movements are always easy to remember because they're big. They're just, they're in your face. You always see them. When you watch people elbow escape, you see the elbow escape, you see the big movements. And it's the little movements that make the move work or not work that you don't always see. So you're not reminded by them even by watching people roll. And so when you're here and the guy mounts, and I turn my butt, I pass the leg, I go here. See how far my heel is from my butt? There's a lot of movement to do this way. And so when I get the escape out, and like my leg now is kind of inside his thigh, like a butterfly hook, right? It's inside of his thigh. So I take it out around his leg and trap. Okay, let me turn this way. And I trap. And now this leg, realistically, can't just come up like this because his knee is in my hip bone. And so his hip, which has more space, is higher up. But that might not even come through. So to make room for this, like we're saying, to make room for this leg to come up, we sometimes have to use this foot to drag my leg out a little bit. I would like my knee to be a few inches further back here. And to do that, I simply use this foot to push my butt back. Like I'm dragging the wounded soldier out. My leg is dead. I'm not bending it. I'm letting my butt, watch how my leg is strong. I'm letting my butt drag my leg. And now when I bend my knee, it's a few inches further out. Okay? So I bend it. There's like a little hook going on right here. I put this foot on here. I pivot. And now a lot of times what happens is this foot is closer to my butt than the other one was. It's tighter. So I can't pull it. I'm out of room now. My leg is all hitting. If my leg was here, I would have room to come back and around, right? You see that U shape? But if it's closer to my butt, I don't have enough room to get my foot out. And I can't just lift it out. It doesn't work. So now once I'm here, I may have to, this leg is out and trapped, I may have to put this foot on the floor, scoot a little bit, and get him away. And when I'm ready, take the space I made. So I'm tight, I make some space, and then I can take it out and around. Okay? So it's the little detail right here, as I almost escape here, bring the knee up. This one is a huge detail. That shoveling of my hip and my leg coming up is very powerful. And when you learn to use that in other spots, it's like having a really strong crowbar to open stuff up and move the guy. So this movement is critical on part one. This movement, once this foot's stuck, to push away a little bit. And making more space between my butt and my foot is critical on part two. Okay? You guys have any questions on this so far? How we feel? A little boring? Yeah? It's okay. It's okay to be bored. I get it. Sometimes, guys, sometimes this is, yes, like, oh, come on, I'm going to roll already. It's like going to music class, and okay, let's go Mary Had a Little Lamb again. Again? You know, but these exercises, you know, kind of are important. So, okay, so your hands are going to be up. So again, if you were aggressive, just I want you to imagine this. Your hands are up like this. Perfect. You're putting your hands up to avoid the fight, but you're mid and you want to fight. So you want to be aggressive. How can you have your hands up and look aggressive in your stance? If you lean forward. Yeah, now you look like me. If I'm like this, I'm standing here. If I start going like this, come on, I don't want no problems. It looks like I'm kind of ready. I don't want any problems, but I'm ready for something. If I go like this, come on, man, please. See the difference? And it changes something in the psyche of even the attack. So now, you'll like that. When I go to punch and make a big step to punch, you're going to cover your face, just take a big step in so we collide. So boom, we collide. When you hit me there, you hit my chest. Now you're going to hug my waist. Right. Now from here, imagine, no thumbs, not like that, remember? I'm sorry. No, don't apologize. Like this, or like S-grip, whatever's more comfortable. Now once I'm here, see my belt? If you pull my belt towards your belt, I'm going to bend in like this. Now your shoulder, see I'm pulled in here? Your shoulder is right here. You can drive your shoulder down into me, and I start to fall, right? I go down, you take a step forward to catch your balance. Pretend that space doesn't exist. Let's see what this looks like from here. I'm going to try something in a second. You go to attack, Rich does the thing. Boom, bang. Now, when you get hit like that, Dante, what's your reaction? It's kind of a little more like, not crazy, but you got to hit your face. You see how it'll come to your face. Rich is going to reach down, grab your waist. He pulls you in, Dante. Go with it, yeah. He starts to lean forward, drop down, step. Rich, your arms like already. Hand, knee. Right. So sometimes it's going to help you a little bit, even in the visual. You're working with somebody that can't. My finger's pointing that way, Rich. Right there. Do the move now. Stay in this line. I want to see how this looks. God, that was kind of funny. Go again. So Dante, again, when you attack, let's be realistic on the reaction. So you imagine me. if I'm attacking you and you clinch, when you hit me, do I stay in this position, or is my action more like kind of a little bit? I've already kind of compromised because I see elbows coming, and I kind of bend back a little bit to avoid that, right? Then when you hug me and reach, now when you pull me in, I come in, and now when I see your shoulder drive down, I start to fall. You mount with me. Now hand me. Okay, now make the attack, Dante. Well, whoever's done. Wrap the waist, Dante. Now you didn't bend back here. Now bend as you pull. Rich is going to bend. You're going to step as he falls. Let him down with your arms. Good. Hand me. So while this looks kind of silly, and people out there think I'm crazy for doing this, that this can't possibly work, you find this little visual aid doing this a little more helpful than nobody.
Yeah.
So it does kind of help align them. So once in a while you can do that. Go, okay, I got him. Now you go back to the normal thing if you wanted to, just like you would a regular partner.
It's better than not doing anything. You know,
It's going to be better than not doing. It's going to be better than doing something different. Hand knee. Remember that's cement, Anthony. You're not landing on pavement. You're not landing on padding, I think. You're not pavement. You're all landing on pavement. Crack a kneecap, you're screwed. Yeah. Now look, I know, as ridiculous as this kind of looks, it's forcing you guys to access parts of your brain that you would not normally access. And hopefully once they're accessed and active and kind of alive, you can't unaccess them. It's hard to unknow something, right? Like we've all made that joke. Oh, you show me that. I can't unsee that now. Like once you see something, you can't unsee it. Once you learn something, you really can't unlearn it. You can choose not to use it, but you can't unlearn it. So when you go through enough of this, not think, oh, that's a cute little thing, yeah. No, we go through this enough that this is how you train. When I start throwing, especially you, when I start throwing real people at you, you cannot unlearn what you learned here. And so you're going to have going along for the ride something as an advantage they didn't have. And of course, they have an advantage you didn't have. So what are we talking about? We're talking about really the advantages of disadvantages and the disadvantage of advantages. Now, everything comes with a price, right? We all have there's a yin and a yang. No matter how thin you make a pancake, there's still another side to it. So the advantage you have, the disadvantage you have right now, no training partner. How am I going to learn how to fight with no training partners?
I see it.
The disadvantage is obvious. The advantage is you'll learn how to fight without a partner. It's like the same thing. The problem becomes the solution in most cases, right? If you look at it the right way. You know, what's the solution to poverty? Not poverty necessarily, but it drives you to a place that not being in poverty might not have pushed you. We've all gone through a certain struggle in our life. I think maybe not you, you're still young, so prepare for it. When you go through struggles and hard times, when you finally come out the other end, if you come out the right way, that struggle was a gift. And so when you start to see that as a regular thing and an occurrence, and as a result of struggle, you start to see the gift of the struggle. You don't see struggle as struggles anymore. You see what used to be a problem now becomes a challenge. That sounds even better. It's a challenge. I'm gonna bite this one head on. It's a challenge. Kind of a positive mental framework. And then if you get through that a little bit, you start to see, wait, there's really an opportunity here. So when problems skip from problem to challenge to opportunity and just get seen as opportunity, your whole life has changed. Problems don't exist anymore. What's the opportunity? Oh, I got a flat tire. What the hell could be the opportunity there? There's something though. But I've never had a flat tire in this situation, in these circumstances. So the opportunity I see is one I've never seen before. Now I got to find something that I've never seen before. I don't know what it looks like. So what is it? You know, what's the opportunity in the school? We're closed almost 6 months now. I've been looking at this from the very beginning. Okay, but from the day we talked, me and Dante, we got to close tonight. We just decided the last minute, this is it. We can't do it. We got to close. From that moment, I started right away go, okay, where's the opportunity? It's here somewhere. I've just never seen it before, so I don't know what it looks like. You know, it's there, okay? And it's as much my creating it as my seeing it. And really the truth is, it's not me seeing anything, it's me seeing my vision of a creation in my mind. So that's what all this is, okay? The advantage of disadvantages and the disadvantage of advantages. So it's always there. Just because you got it good, there's a disadvantage there too. What's the problem? You got training partners their whole career. What's the problem? Now they got training partners. They're not forced to do it right. They're not forced to think it through so in depth that we find some silly mistakes sometimes. When we realize the training partner helps us remind us what to do because they did that. It's like another little mental cue. What? I'm gonna try to find a chunk of moves that work well as something that when we come back, at the very least, aside from the learning facility you've picked up through these processes, there's some movement that should be marketably better when you come back. Somebody gets on your mat and you hold them. When you bump, they're gone. That's what it should be. You mean, wow, my bump is like turbocharged now. Okay, so there's some moves I want that to feel and have be part of your end result. And the rest will hopefully be a thinking process and a connective tissue created in a different way than you have now between your mind and your body. You're going to learn a different way to learn. That's what Jiu-Jitsu is anyway at one point. Like we said before, you might have new techniques that you're good at today, Anthony, or you're good at today. You go, this stuff is easy, I got it. And then tomorrow, the next technique, you can't get it. You feel like you got 2 left hands, 2 left legs. It's not that you're good or bad, it's just you're learning how to learn. And that's the big picture of Jiu-Jitsu in one of its big picture elements, right? There's several big pictures here. Initially, it's fighting. And that problem solved after the first year. After that, what are the bigger picture things that help you through the rest of your life? We all hear that. Oh, Jiu-Jitsu is going to help the rest of your life. How? Well, number one, it's going to change how you think and how you approach problems. How you interpret problems. How you mentally position a problem, challenge, or opportunity. Those are massive changes. All right, guys, great. Let's bow out to Elio, please.